Every Sunday, the VIP Mastermind that I run gets together, and this Sunday was no different. But there were two things I wanted to point out. One I read just before that mastermind meeting, and the second was something that happened during it. So the first one is from the Napoleon Hill Thought of the Day, and if you don't subscribe to that, it's a free service. I would encourage you to do that. Just do a Napoleon Hill Foundation Thought of the Day, and you'll find it. So this was the thought of the day. It doesn't pay to look at others through a foggy mental attitude. You must keep your mind sharply focused on your goals, and you must have a grounding philosophy that sustains you when the going is tough. When you apply the principles of success consistently until they become part of you, no longer will you have to stop and think about what you should do in any given situation. Your positive response will be automatic. Make sure you spend time in reflection and study. Clearly establish your goals and develop a plan and timetable for their achievement. Read the works of motivational writers and the great philosophers and use the knowledge you gain to develop your own code of conduct. Establish your own philosophy of success that you can stick with day in and day out, regardless of what the rest of the world does. There's an awful lot in that short piece. To do this acquisition journey successfully, you have to absolutely control your mind. And mindset is, as I've talked about many times, the number one barometer of how successful you'll be. You have to know the steps, as they talk about here, and then you have to consistently take action and look for those things that are solutions to your problems. One of the things I picked up from this mastermind today was we did a role play, and that is certainly one of the advantages of being in a group of like-minded people, to have the ability to try out what you have upcoming. In this case, it was a bank interview. And the role play was good, covered most of the points that you would in an initial interview with a bank. But one of the things that's interesting about that is that we did a postmortem, basically. What were the takeaways from that? And it was really interesting. There were a couple things that were pointed out. And when I said, if you remember this, what did so-and-so say about this? And nobody in that mastermind, other than the two people on it, could remember what that was. And what it pointed out to me, and this is not unique, is that listening is incredibly important. A lot of times people get distracted. A lot of times, particularly if they're going through a script, they will be thinking about the next thing that they want to say and not listening. And listening is hard, but it's critical to this process. So I would encourage you to think about the next time you're having a discussion with any one of the discussions you're going to have, whether that's board members, whether that's professionals, whether that's banks and financial institutions or sellers. Think about listening, thinking about taking notes, etc. If you're in a place where you can legally record the conversation, go back and listen to that recording, and you're going to pick up things on the second time, third time that you didn't the first time. So, yes, mindset is critically important, and you have to control and keep your mind on what you want and off what you don't want. But listening is a skill that you would be served very well to enhance and pay attention to. In terms of the VIP Mastermind, there are some spots opening up. That's going to start in the beginning of April. So if that's something that you would like to know more about, just go over to brucewhipple.com and take a look under the coaching for the VIP Mastermind. That'll give you the details. It'll say sold out. That's because we haven't opened it yet. We will open it before too long, but it'll give you all the details and pricing. And if that's something you are interested in doing, understand the financial commitment that's there, and send me an email at bruce@brucewhipple.com, and I'll put you on the list. It'll be first come, first serve. Those spots typically fill very quickly.